It's hard not to pick up a book, a periodical, read a tweet, and not get a sense that people are talking about AI, or what commonly we would refer to as artificial intelligence. But for this presentation today, I want to give you an alternate perspective. I want to talk about augmented intelligence and what that really means. And this is very different than what we've come to expect from traditional programmatic computing. These systems do four basic things. They understand, they reason, they learn, and they interact naturally. That's very different than what today has been known of computing, where we program. We literally sit down and code, we create rules and apply logic. We use information that's been neatly organized into rows and into columns. And that's how, for the most part, we drive our systems. But these systems aren't tethered to that standard convention. When I say understand, this is not simple search. It's not keyword match, which we've come to accept. It's comprehension. It's understanding content and context and meaning. That's very different. Two, they reason. Now, if you go back to your psychology class days, you'll remember reasoning, deductive, inductive, abductive, adaptive reasoning. Right? If Socrates was a man and all men are mortal, then Socrates is mortal. That's exactly the type of reasoning Watson was using in that Jeopardy illustrations. Third, and most impressive, I think, among the characteristics of these AIs is their ability to learn. You don't go back and recode. The systems get progressively smarter based on use, based on interaction, based on new pieces of information being provided. That means they evolve with us. What turns out, that's the way most professions work. Go to your doctor. I don't feel well. He asks me a series of questions. Right? From that, he applies reasoning. Could be a cold, could be a flu, could be something more serious. And then he begins to look at narrowing the field based on probability, based on confidence in available information. And finally, these systems interact in natural language. They understand the way you and I would talk. They understand idiosyncrasies and colloquialisms and the way we speak. And that's hard because we don't speak in always a sensical way. We say things like houses burn up as they burn down. Why would it be that noses run and feet smell? Right? Classical definitions don't work. And of course, if vegetarians eat vegetables, what do humanitarians eat? So you begin to realize that natural language is very hard. So I'll give you a little quiz. This is a question out of the Lincoln Library, and the statement is, Treasury Secretary Chase just submitted this to me for the third time. Guess what, pal? This time I'm accepting it. What is it? I heard someone. Resignation. Right? So of course, right, in context, it makes perfect sense. So we were asking this question in front of a group of fifth graders. No sooner did we ask the question, the girl in the back of the room was waving her hand. We were quite impressed, and we called, and we said, terrific, what is it? And she said, a friend request. So you realize that understanding is really hard in context. And what's fueling this growth is a phenomenal amount of information. And we hear about big data. We've all heard about this in marketing and advertising and public relations now. But the reality is we're on the front end of a tsunami, and the majority of data that's coming available is unstructured. It's information in text or enriched media. It's videos and pictures and things that we historically haven't allowed our computers to process or to understand. And to put that into perspective, how much information? 2.5 quintillion bytes every single day. That's about 170 newspapers delivered to every man, woman, and child on the planet.
Our mission at Campbell's is to make real food that matters for life's moments. And we know through social listening that those moments aren't just holidays and special occasions. They're every day, very often at 3 p.m., when consumers start to think about what they're going to make for dinner that night. To us, Watson, IBM's Watson Cognition is really one-to-one marketing in its purest sense. We're able to understand a person's mindset like never before. It's information we've never had access to. And so we're able to provide, from an array of products that we have at Campbell's, the right solution to the right person at the right time in their right mindset. And it's something we've never been able to do before.
The conference is about advertising's new world order.
New world order, yes.
How do you think about that?
I mean, really, we're not advertising anymore at consumers. We're advertising with them, for them. There has to be a purpose, a value. And when you think about it, it used to be that you could put an ad out there. You knew a little bit about the target, but you put it out there and you hope it stuck. Now, in today's world, you have to know who's on the other end of that ad, where they're seeing that ad, their mindset, what context it's being delivered in. And through Cognition, we're hoping to at least get more insight into the person's behavior and what they're thinking and what they need at that exact moment.